do.
You see me, but do you see the glasses?
I see the little glass symbol.
Okay, perfect. Yep, that's it. Okay. Awesome.
So what do I do?
Just hit go live and just talk.
You are live?
I am live. I love it. So we are live here at the Church History Museum, and this is such a blessing because we're going to see some of the Kirtland historical stuff that they brought in. My friend Tiffany, who did an for me.
Oh, we're on
Yeah, now we're on you. I know. Isn't that funny? So she was here 3 times and she has missed it all the time. So today we're purposely going to do this to kind of go and see the sights. And thank you for doing the Instagram takeover. You can just watch it and read the comments. And you can, there's a comment it tells me. So you can tell me who it is. Hello, how are you? How was it?
Oh, it was awesome.
Awesome.
It's beautiful.
Very nice.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Please no food, drink, or things. They probably put drawer about in your bag.
Okay, I'll do that. Oh, I remember this from the last time I was here. So we're just gonna do the self-guided tour and kind of see what, sometimes it does convert to the phone. Ooh.
So the first time I came here was when I was like, if we could bring the secret
Tired to the silence of the grove. Joseph Smith. I love this. Tiffany was joking earlier because she's from upstate New York. If you don't know her, she's a convert to the church, like salvation, snowbank to salvation, dead in the side of a snowbank, literally, and came back to life, joined the church, and it was in upstate New York, and now she's living in Utah. So it's a great conversion story. And welcome to the journey.
Conversion stories as much as like my friends and family do.
Yeah, they do. They loved it.
We don't miss this.
Okay, so this we don't want to miss. What are we watching?
Well, like right here, it's like some of like
Ooh,
stuff.
look at the original stuff.
This is why like I joked around and said if they could bring the Sacred Grove to Utah, they would, because everything is here.
Thank you for finishing what I was just talking about you being a convert to the church. So can you push these buttons and do they just read? No, I guess not. That's for decorative purposes. Sorry, that's addenicism. Oh,
Any particular system of faith.
it does work.
I contend for the ancient
Can you
order
hear that?
established by our Lord Jesus Christ and his apostles.
Oh, I love this. Make sure those are focused on the, because it does change. Like sometimes it will.
My parents were so poor that they apprenticed me at the age of 4 to a man.
No, so let us know if you've been to the Church History Museum, because this is definitely an experience. I have a long time ago. So what's this? First Vision Theater?
When's the next video? In about 2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay. So we're gonna walk around. Can we walk around some other sites before this? Awesome. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you for your service. Hi, how are you? So upstairs with the Moroni, we were offered to try to lift this. Oh, that cart's probably going upstairs now. And it was you that...
Maybe it was upstairs and they brought it down.
Yeah, we don't have anybody by the name of Moroni on this shift
Yeah.
right now, so they
We have
just
different numbers.
left it.
But they wanted me to try to lift it. I will throw my back out again.
Oh, no,
Yep,
don't
no.
do that.
Yeah, it's really heavy.
We're amazed that even Joseph Smith's wife carried those underneath her coat.
So in
Isn't
Palmyra,
that-
if you're at the Smith farm, they have a box that they keep on like the kitchen table, and it's supposed to be as heavy as it is, and they like have you lift the boxes. And I remember the first time I lifted, I was like, "Holy crap!" Like, I feel like this is lighter, but it's like I have a bar to like hold up on.
Well, because that's easier to lift that way than it is to kick it underneath that way.
That's amazing.
Sing it.
That is so heavy.
These stories are not all new to you.
Not all. Well,
from upstate.
we're still green. We're both converts, just at different times.
So much to learn.
There is.
And I'm not, and I'm old, and I still have so much.
Hey.
I got baptized an hour and 20 minutes from Palmyra, and so never knew it existed. So then once I did,
You'll visit the Grandin Press at some point, but this is the original press that the Book of Mormon was printed on.
Really,
The one in
the original.
It is.
I love that. The original press. So it's not even in Palmyra, the original press.
It's one that looks like this.
Yes,
This
okay.
Is the original. The church, it went through many hands after it left.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Mr. Grandin, but the church is forgotten.
and my running joke always is that if the church could move the Sacred Grove to Utah, they would.
Oh, this is amazing.
Well, I'll tell you what my feeling was. are many places on earth that sacred things and will happen. And it just doesn't have to be that girl.
No,
So the first
it can
time
happen
I went
all over.
was when I went to actually pray to see whether I should get baptized. Because my parents were teaching me, and we were at the
Oh,
point where I was
such a
like,
big decision for you.
and I was like, if I'm going to go through this, I'm about to lose my friends, I'm about to lose my family, and I'm like, I have to know. And it was crazy. But as much as I love the sacred groves, like even out here in Utah, I found places.
Oh, yeah. No, it's the communion with God that creates that spirit.
I love it.
But certainly we know that that place was consecrated and still is.
Yeah.
But this entire earth is consecrated.
Yeah, it
And
is.
so
Getting ready for the second coming.
these events
Yeah.
probably have, and we may not know about all of them because many things are so sacred, people don't talk about them
Yeah.
because they're personal or will happen. So
I love that.
it's a worldwide church. So.
Thank you. Can I give you a missionary hug? That's big. Yeah.
How long have you been members?
I was baptized August 19, 2017. I went from an anti-member to being an advocate for Christ.
My 6-year mark will be next month. So last Saturday was my 6-year death anniversary. I overdosed and died. And then literally a week later was when the missionaries were like, you're going to church. And so the 29th of this month will be my
bless
6-year
your
sober
heart.
and clean
Oh,
mark.
good for you.
And June 30th will be 6 years baptized.
Oh, good for you.
So,
Well, yesterday I celebrated the second anniversary of my husband's death. But these are all joyous events.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
my brother, 20 years, he passed away in May 6th from a drug overdose. And he was my revelation for joining the church. And so he said, join this church for our salvation.
My husband's the only, and he was raised in a church, but not really actively. I was, but he has 3 addict products. And the church is a real lifeline.
It is.
Okay.
Thank you for that. We're going to go see the movie.
Oh, it's time.
Yeah, it's time.
Waiting for
She's
you.
waiting for us. I'm sorry. So, oh, she's cheating. I'm walking around. I want to get the steps on my Apple Watch. That is cool. Thank you. Maybe I did this in New York. I don't know.
We didn't have this in New York.
Oh, we didn't have, of course we did. They moved it to Utah.
So my first time doing this was when I came out here just to visit.
Yeah.
And you're
I'm going
like,
to convert it to this.
like the whole thing goes around and it's like you're right in the sacred grove. It's amazing.
So, now I can't figure out how to stop the glasses.
Problem glasses. Do you want me to wear them?
Okay. So,
Entre 1832 y 1844.
oh, I don't care. I still feel the spirit. Spanish or not.
I'm glad I remembered that. Opened the door. Would've been like,
So I did not know you could pause a live video. I just learned.
Between 1832 and 1844, Joseph Smith and some of his closest friends recorded at least 9 accounts of Joseph's first vision experience, given on different occasions to different audiences. The most detailed of these accounts, written in 1838, has been published in a volume of scripture called The Pearl of Great Price. What you're about to see draws upon all of the written first vision accounts to provide additional perspectives and insights into this remarkable event.
My name is Joseph Smith. When I was young, there was in the place where we lived an unusual excitement on the subject of religion. My mind became seriously impressed with regard to the welfare of my soul. I pondered many things in my heart. I felt to mourn for my own sins and the sins of the world, but upon inquiring about the plan of salvation, I found that there was a great clash in religious sentiment. This was grief to my soul. I knew not who was right or who was wrong, and I considered it of the first importance that I should be right in matters that involved eternal consequences. I wanted to get religion, too. I wanted to feel and shout like the rest, but could feel nothing. I was one day reading the Epistle of James. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, and it shall be given him. It seemed to enter with great force into every feeling of my heart. After I retired into the place where I had previously designed to go, having looked around me and finding myself alone, I kneeled down and began to offer up the desires of my heart to God. I cried unto the Lord for mercy, for there was none else to whom I could go to obtain mercy. It was the first time in my life that I had made the attempt to pray vocally. Oh God. Immediately, I was seized upon by some power which entirely overcame me, and had such astonishing influence over me as to bind my tongue, so I could not speak. My mind filled with doubts and all manner of inappropriate images. It seemed to me, for a time, as if I were doomed to sudden destruction, but exerting all my powers to call upon God to deliver me. Lord! My mouth was open. Have mercy on me. And my tongue liberated. Forgive me.
You could feel this.
Joseph, this is my beloved son. Hear him. Joseph, thy sins are forgiven thee. Behold, I am the Lord of glory. I was crucified for the world, that all those who believe on my name may have eternal life. The world lieth in sin. They have turned aside from the gospel and keep not my commandments.
This is powerful.
They draw near to me with their lips, while their hearts are far from me. They teach for doctrines the commandments of men, having a form of godliness, but they deny the power thereof. Go not after them. Wait patiently. At a future time, the complete truth of the gospel will be revealed to you. When the light had departed, I had no strength. Peace and calm filled my mind. My soul was filled with love. For many days I could rejoice with great joy in the Lord who was with me. I had received a promise that the fullness of the gospel should at some future time be made known unto me. And I had actually seen a light, and in the midst of that light I saw two personages. And they did, in reality, speak to me. I knew it, and I knew God knew it. And I could not deny it.
This is a day long to remember, a day in which the God of heaven has begun to restore the ancient order of his kingdom. I have goosebumps. Look at that. It's an original photo because you can see that. So Tiffany, do you know, thank you so much. Do you know when I first was researching the Sacred Grove, when I was invited to go up, the first picture I saw was the first vision, and I thought, why do they believe in two Jesuses? I didn't know that was Jesus Christ and Heavenly Father.
So the first time I've ever seen witnessed that, it was when Clayton and Austin had video chatted me
The
about
elders,
going to church
yeah.
for the first time, because they FaceTimed me through Facebook Messenger. We video chatted, and they gave me a tour of the church building because I knew nothing at that point.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you notice that you don't see anything in our church? I'm like, there's no crosses anywhere, and they're like, exactly.
Yeah.
And then there was like a painting, like right when you first walk in, and they explained that, and I was like, what?
Wow.
Because I always believed in the Trinity.
Yeah.
And so that took a little bit for me to get used to.
So you've done this before,
I've done this
but you haven't done okay, explain.
So this is the house, like what it looks like now,
Yes.
the frame home. The oldest Smith's son Elvin began constructing a frame home for his parents and sibling on their farm in Manchester, New York. So this house still exists in Palmyra.
Yeah.
You can only do the bottom, but if any of you ever get to do the tour, in the first room right over here, look at the walls. You can tell what ones are original wood and which ones have been replaced by the painting.
Love it.
Because the painting that's like fresh,
Yeah.
white, is like painted. And you can tell it was original because back then it was so expensive to paint. So they painted around things. So when you look by the dressers, there's like things that aren't painted. So that's how you can tell what's original wood and what's not.
I love. So this is like we're experiencing the Church History Museum from two eyes of a convert.
And so after I got baptized, I literally was giving tours with the Sight Sisters in Palmyra. And so I've read like the books.
Yeah.
I've been in so many places and all those historical buildings that normal people don't get to go to, like the upstairs of the frame home.
Oh, wow. What great history. So let us know if you've been to the Church History Museum or if you've ever been to Palmyra or even if you're a member or of a different faith. We don't care. We just love all. And this is so we prayed before we went live. And it wasn't necessarily about going live. It was more about, you have to share this.
I want to see your phone real quick.
Okay.
Can you switch it to the phone and
Yep,
glasses?
I can do
We're going to go in this little log. Hold on. So, there's like little things you can see in the logs. Oh, we're on me.
Oops, I did that on purpose because I thought it was so cute that you're climbing in the log to what they can see in the log.
So there's the gold plates and the beans. If you ever remember the story when they hid them in the beans to not be caught, there they are hidden in there. And that's when they were hidden in the other time, if you can see. So like these little things are all the times and the places that they hid, like in the fireplace. So
That's cool. So I'll put it back up. That was cute. See, this is organic.
I'm like showing, and I'm like, oh, that's my butt.
That's my rear admiral. But yes, I love that you know this because I don't. I was here once, and it was a quick run through. And I thought we were going to see the stuff from Kirtland, but maybe that'd be like part 2 of going live. You know,
It could just be a really long live.
Yeah, a long live and do the whole museum.
Well, then when you do YouTube, you could just like cut it in parts.
That's true, which gives me more work to do, which I should have just went live from YouTube, but that's okay. So what do you explain what you're doing now?
Oh, these are just like parts of
The letters.
There's just more discovery in here.
More discovery. And I bet your kids love this.
Well, there's a kids exhibit upstairs. It's about tables. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
You can write your testimony in.
Oh, my
Put it on the
testimony.
wall if you want.
I'm all about that.
Adding the punctuation. So I have like, I mean, it's obviously not the original Book of Mormon, but I have
Wow.
like one of the original ones that doesn't have all the punctuation in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I got that in Palmyra right before I moved out here.
Yeah. And they actually, I mean, this was printed, the first edition came out in 1830, the first copy.
1830.
And they had another edition in 1837, another one in 1842, because it wasn't, really, this was all
Yeah.
manual work.
Yeah.
And verbal. So there were some clarifications as they received proofreading, additional revelation to be sure that they had it right.
Well, just the mere fact that Joseph Smith only had a third grade education, and he was able, and I'm dyslexic and learning disabled, so I can only imagine what he's gone through. I couldn't imagine taking on this feat. Yeah.
Upstairs, there is an exhibit of some of the papers that were recently transferred to community press.
And that's
Yes.
originally why we came. Like, I've come down here like 4 times
that
to
where
try
you
to see
started?
those. And, we haven't been up there yet.
Okay, so the very last letter as you leave the room, if you go
Okay.
clockwise, is a letter that Joseph wrote to Emma the day he was martyred. And so he wrote it. Okay, so they kind of volunteered. There were 16 men that were charged with inciting a riot. And so they all kind of voluntarily went to Carthage, and they stayed the first night at a hotel. So we called them hotels then. The next day they had a hearing. The justice of peace fined 14 or 16 of them, maybe there were 18 that were charged, that said that Joseph and Hiram were going to be tried for prison. They had to treason, they would have to stay in the jail. So they went to the jail that night. Joseph corresponded with the governor the next day, which was Wednesday. And the governor, it amazes me, they corresponded, which means kind of like the Pony Express. These letters were hand-delivered. He was understanding that the governor literally said these men will return home. He wasn't going to keep them. And so on Friday, they were supposed to have that hearing where they thought they would be released. Mob came on Thursday night. But for Thursday morning, the letter sounded quite positive because Joseph was hopeful that they would be released. But it was written by Willard Richards, which I thought was really interesting to talk about Joseph Smith's education. It became such a pattern of convenience. Someone who was accurate with punctuation and spelling, whatever, he would dictate much of his personal correspondence as well. So if you look at that letter, the first part of the letter is in Willard Richards' handwriting. And the last little bit is in Emma's handwriting. The day he left Carthage, the last thing he said to her is, "Teach my children to walk in their father's footsteps." And she said, "Oh no, Joseph, you'll be back."
That's powerful.
Yeah. He sent the letter to her. She had it by 10:30 the morning of his. And kind of feeling a little bit better, but still very nervous. She didn't learn about his death until the following morning.
So have you been to Carthage? So when I went there, it was the first time. So when I moved out here, my original missionary flew back to New York and helped drive me out here. So we did the whole church history tour. Like we took the Pioneer Trail, we did all
I was
that.
45 where I
And
did
so
it.
when we hit that up, like I've got pictures of like through the gun, like the gun hole, like through the window and out. And I remember like they let you sit there and they played this tape and it was just so powerful. And then they told the story about like the watch, where like the one gunshot like hit the one guy's watch, and if it wasn't for hitting that watch, he probably
You know what? We know differently now. And they're around the corner of this exhibit. You can see them because now the clothes that Hiram was wearing are on display around the corner here. And you can see where the bullet entered Hiram's. And his watch actually did get damaged by one of the bullets that hit him, but it was the one, he was already dead. The bullet was confused around him in the nose is what killed him instantly. We know that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We know that John Painter, and this is just historians and particularly curators for museum are always using
What she's
technology
talking
and
about
research
is
to
the
tell
newest stuff that we're finding out that we didn't know before about Joseph Smith's death. Now that we have the actual letter and the clothes that Hiram wore, we're noticing different things. And I'm sorry, I didn't realize you couldn't hear the sister. She is soft, and we are speaking softly because we are in a museum, so we want to be reverent. And I'm sorry, I didn't realize you guys didn't hear that. But there's so much new information that we did not know about the death, and Emma Smith having a letter from Joseph Smith written the night before he was martyred. We had no idea So we're learning stuff from this information that the church has acquired from Nauvoo and from the church history sites that the church now owns, which is just amazing. So we're going to head up there, and thank you for letting me know that you couldn't hear her. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best, being reverent, and I will, maybe what I'll do is I'll start a part 2 of this, because as we head upstairs, and then I can see if we can get better sound somehow. But I'm basically doing this from holding my phone with holding a microphone, and also going live with my Ray-Ban Meta glasses with what I see. Oh, it says glasses removed. I don't understand what that... Give me a second here to connect. I don't know why it's not allowing me to... Give me a second. See what happens on... Oh, there we go. And I just took a picture with the glasses. I didn't want to do that. Okay, here you go. I can connect now. And then, so you can see what I'm seeing right now. So see the fuzzy microphone that I have, but those aren't connected to my glasses. So I apologize. Things are different from what you're seeing and from what I'm seeing, and also hearing. But the fact that we're finding out so much new information, we're going to head upstairs.
Like, they still send me a Christmas card every year.
They're like really connecting. Is that not cool? All this history. Okay, so we prayed before we went live, and I did not expect it was gonna go in this journey of like from the convert's point of view. So I stepped back because they couldn't hear the sister, so I wanted to explain what we were.
I heard.
Yeah, hearing. And I just said, thank you for bearing with us, because we were down to like one person and then 0 people. But it's okay. It's about the one. That. Yes, share what you know.
So right here's like one of the original ones, as you can see how old it is.
It looks very old, yes.
It's the New York first mission field.
Oh, the very first mission field. Although the church was centered in New York for less than a year, from April 1830 until February 1831, many people joined the church there. Early converts quickly reached out to offer their new faith to others. This is great. The very first mission field in upstate New York. This is so fascinating.
And then you come over here to Kirtland.
And so the new exhibit upstairs is upstairs. Mm-hmm. There's a comment. I can't read that. Can you? Because I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, it's Clayton. It says,
oh, hey,
York.
Clayton.
That's where I served my mission.
Clayton is the missionary who baptized and taught this stubborn woman right here, who now is sharing her testimony to everyone watching. And this will be on YouTube. So thank you, Clayton. I have like 6 pairs of glasses on and I still can't see. Ooh, so share with us what you know, Tiffany.
So, also like a book has everything. I'm actually related to her, far from.
You are.
So if you go on like the family search, you can find out who you're related to, pioneer-wise.
Yeah.
And she shows up in mine.
I got booted out. It says I can't remember my login or password, so I got to reset it.
You forget your passwords on everything.
I do. So, yeah.
So I don't know as much about Kirtland. Like, Pioneer is where I know everything because I was giving tours with the sisters and spent so much time there. But I'm still like learning so much about all the other stuff.
Let me know if you can hear Tiffany okay, because she does have a big mouth, but.
When Clayton and I moved, like when Clayton moved me out here, we actually did a lot of the tour. This is my favorite painting.
Oh, yes. I've been inside one of those, but this was in St. George, but this is not St. George.
The painting of this in Kirtland is in the Kirtland Museum. It's about like the spirit of Elijah. And I remember, Clayton, if you're still watching, do you remember how big the one was in Kirtland we went to? And I just sat there and just stared at it. So for anyone who knows me, knows that the spirit of Elijah is so strong. And so when I first saw this, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I just love this painting. And this is when in Kirtland, when Elijah and them came down. Moses, Elias, and Elijah, 3 resurrected Old Testament prophets, appeared in the Kirtland Temple on April 3rd, 1836, which was Easter Sunday and part of the Passover season. Moses, who had gathered ancient Israel out of Egypt, restored to Joseph Smith the authority to gather the Lord's people for a second time. Elias restored the dispensation of the gospel of Abraham, and Elijah restored the sealing power of the priesthood, fulfilling Malachi's prophecy that the Lord would turn the heart of the fathers to the children and the heart of the children to their fathers.
Powerful.
And then right here is inside the Kirtland Temple.
Now, you've been there, but it was when it was owned, not by us again.
Yeah, we did that about 5 years ago. We did the whole church history pioneer trail and like hit up everything on our way to Utah. Yeah, the second floor of the museum is where we'll learn more about the Kirtland that we came for.
All right, let's hope I have enough battery.
Wow. Dark screens. I don't know if you're going to see some of this, but this is some of the Kirtland revelations.
And that's probably to protect the actual. It's amazing. Amazing. I love I have my own private tour guide who's also a convert. You can get inside of the store and go shopping and wave to people. Oh, I better be more reverent. Dennis is getting a little loud.
And here's some more. The flag of the city of Zion. Another original Book of Mormon. The Book of Commandments and Revelations. And John Whitmer's handwriting and Joseph Smith's.
Love that.
So these are, I could be wrong, but I think these are some of the things that we received when we got all the stuff.
But we're going to see more of that upstairs.
Yes. But I think this is some of it, because I don't remember seeing all of these the last time I was here.
So, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to actually turn this around and tell you a little secret. Is the last time I was here, I was asked to go by the president of, I was asked by Family Search to go live. And I went live on my YouTube channel and I got shut down by Secret Service. They literally came over and said, my gosh, what happened to my hair? It looks like a frisball. It's because I have these glasses and these allow me to, but this is my big fuzzy microphone that I'm dangling. So if I go like this, you can actually see from my glasses the view from what I'm looking at. Oh, connect. There you go. So this is my big fuzzy microphone. The first one I had a Goat 8. So I'm trying to face this in a direction that you can see what I'm doing. So when Tiffany's talking, I'm like going like this to her mouth. So I have multiple setups going on right now. So bear with me. Tiffany, what would you like to share about? Oh.
So this is the pocket watch that David Patton was wearing when he died. And you can see the little chips.
The gun. Wow. So when I went to...
This was during the attack when he was attempting to rescue Mormon prisoners in the Battle of Crooked River.
Oh, she should become a historian. She's better than I am. Wow. They had $3 bills back then. Didn't know that.
So, if you go to Liberty Jail...
I've been there. I was just there a few weeks ago.
I was there too, but it's actually not that tall, and I'm short.
And they have air conditioning blowing out here. Let me change this from the... Oops, let me turn this around. See, what happens live stays live. Yes, I was there strictly by accident about a week and a half ago. And let us know if you have questions too. 2 converts sharing their journey of church history.
So my fun thing is I'm 5'6", and just think of like me being 5'6". Look how close I am to the top.
Yeah, and Joseph was, how tall was he?
He's like 6'1".
6'1", okay.
That I'm not 100% sure on.
That's fine. We're still learning.
Over here, Andrew Johnson measured the jail to be 14 by 14.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, 6'2". I was close.
Yeah. So Joseph Smith was 6'2". Alexandra was
6'6".
6'6".
A
Wow.
whole foot taller than me, and we just saw how close I was to the top.
And they had to yeah. Now we're going to Nauvoo. Super cool. I love what Tiffany said earlier. If the church could move the sacred grove to Utah, they would. But then you wouldn't have the mosquitoes the size of rats. Printing office. I've been to the one in Palmyra.
So this is pretty cool what you see on the Nauvoo Temple. So one thing that's cool about the Nauvoo Temple, if you've never been there, is after you do an endowment, there's like a room up at the top. Because Clayton and I did this session and got done. I was in the hallway waiting for him. And there's like a shadow boxes, like a wall of all these shadow boxes to show all the ceremonial clothes throughout the years, which is like one of my favorite things about the temple.
LES says, yes, super cool. I am so blessed to be here.
Back up a little bit since they're doing the tour.
Okay, that way.
I can do my own explanations.
Yeah, you could do your own.
Oh, there's Emma Smith's songbook. I think that's her songbook. 46.
Emma Smith.
Yep. A Collection of Sacred Hymns. That was Emma Smith's hymn book.
Hey, Karen from Cedar City. So Emma Smith. Now, see, I wouldn't be able to read that. I need the extra large print.
Number 4 right there. It says Wilfred Walt Woodruff received this Bible as a gift during his first mission to Great Britain from 1831 to 1849.
Would that be consecrated oil? Would be?
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then the clock was a mantle clock owned by Phoebe Woodruff.
Wow, that is so cool. Deborah says, enjoying your narration. So fun. We are trying.
Who thinks that we should do a podcast together?
Yeah, we've been talking about that actually.
We'll have to do a poll or something at some point.
Yeah, we'll have to do an Instagram poll or one of those things.
Oh, here's a cane owned by Joseph Knight. Joseph Smith gave this cane to Joseph Knight Sr. upon seeing his elderly friend hobbling down the streets of Nauvoo. It remained with the Knight family until 2008.
I love her passion, because she was baptized a year after I was, and it's so great to see the difference. Our friend, I am Luke, says, don't want to interrupt your live, but I saw you there just now. You are so cool. Hello, did we see you outside first when you and your wife, I think, were walking by? There was a new exhibit. You can come over and say hi. Yeah, come on over and say hi. So there's somebody. We're currently in Nauvoo in the church history. So if you're still on, our friend, brother, definitely come and say hi. You're not interrupting us at all. That is so funny. So if I am Luke, Duke is on. If you're here, come on over and say hi. And if you don't want to be on camera, I can hide you.
So look at the old dresses. I would have hated to wear those back in the day.
I know, but we didn't know. They didn't know any other. They didn't know any better.
They're very modest.
They are.
But they also look very, very thick.
It's okay. That is so funny. Somebody did not want to interrupt our.
I like how I don't want to interrupt their tour.
I know.
But I really want to get there because also about the face mask stuff. So let's go back to Liberty Jail.
Okay.
We're going to backtrack.
We're going to backtrack. We're going to Liberty Jail. So if you're on in the Church History Museum right now, we're heading back to Liberty Jail.
Bars and stones from Liberty Jail, Missouri.
Oh, cool. Those are actual bars and an actual stone.
See, that's what I love about this museum is there is so much stuff that's actual original.
Yeah. Our friends gather in. If you don't follow them, they're in New Zealand or Australia. I forget. I'm sorry. I'm exhausted. They're on. They do great work.
Look at the little rack they have up there at the top.
Oh my gosh. Yes. That's not little. That's a biggie one. That's a big one.
I never noticed that before. All the times I've been here.
How many times have you been here?
Oh gosh. A dozen, if not more.
Love the Convert energy.
I love coming to Temple Square. I love coming to the museum. It's like the closest thing I get to being back in Palmyra.
Love it.
And I learn new things every single time.
That's what it's all about. I really should have did this for my YouTube channel because it would have required a lot less. But
The First Relief Society.
oh, the First Relief Society. Hi, Angela, Sophia. Welcome. We are having so much fun as two converts touring the Church History Museum. We just learned some information that we did not know about some of the artifacts that we acquired from Nauvoo and from Kirtland. We're just waiting for an exhibit.
Maybe what we'll do is we'll just walk by and then we'll come back.
And you'll explain it,
And
okay.
yeah, so we'll walk by the face masks, like the death masks of Hiram and Joseph, and then we'll come back and talk about those because we don't want to interrupt a tour already going on.
Okay,
So
sounds
we'll
good.
just go by and then we'll come back to them.
Okay, so bear with us. We're going to go silent for a little bit.
When we come back down.
Okay.
Because that's also like the clothes that they died in. On display as well.
Okay,
Let's go upstairs.
let's go upstairs and we'll explain that in a little bit. So we'll backtrack. I also want to go here and see if they have an original Book of Mormon without the punctuations like you were talking about.
Oh, yes. I got Clayton and I's ours in Palmyra.
In Palmyra. And Elder Clayton is the missionary who baptized her.
Elder McHugh
Elder McCune
from Hawaii.
from Hawaii. And we met up with him in Hawaii accidentally. Well, I met up with both of you. Sacred. How cool is this? Wow.
So Clayton and I had pictures of us outside of all these houses.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so hold this. Read the comment from Gather In. I have to charge my glasses. You are not from my. Point it up so they can see.
It says, I'm in Australia. I have just recently interviewed 4 converts about their experience joining the church.
What advice do you have for him as a convert when he's teaching other people to come into Christ?
Teaching or interviewing them?
Interviewing.
Just listen to everything they have to say, because each one of us has different experiences, and try not to judge us for our past and the experiences we had. Because
And I can testify that he's not like that in his way.
so these are from the Book of Commandments and Revelations. Let's switch with you. Hello. Dennis gave me view of the camera. He's currently visiting with people. So So if you get the floor, I'm sorry. Oops. Hi.
That was so cool. So the person that just saw my live was watching it, just came up and said hello. So as I'm trying to charge my glasses.
Here, I'm gonna hand you the water bottle. I'm scared I'm gonna drop it and hit it on the glass.
That would happen.
Yeah, I'm kind of a klutz.
I'm gonna put it in my bag.
So these are the letters from Joseph to Emma. You might have to like pause it on the rewatch to read them.
Or take screenshots.
That works. Actually, I'm going to hand this to you because I'm going to take pictures with my phone. So
Okay.
I can go back and read them.
I love that. So this is when we were downstairs. The sister was saying that we were learning new information about the fact that Emma received a letter from Joseph Smith just a day before he was martyred. And all the information that we're learning is still coming to light, if you may, which is what's great about the gospel is we're constantly learning, constantly growing.
Clayton, if you're still watching, did we see all these move into Kirtland? I don't remember.
Okay, I don't know if Clayton's on,
I don't know either.
because we've been on a long time. I can tell by my battery. Oh, my friend Karen made a comment, but I can't read it because I got my glasses on. Just a second. That museum is so special. Haven't been there lately. Thank you for the tour. Well, it's definitely so new now because of the fact that they have all the new information that came in from Kirtland and from the temple sites that we're finding more information that we didn't realize. There's a bathroom. Everybody should use it.
Do you want to use it?
No, it's okay. We're gonna. I can go. Wow. That's the great thing about being in Salt Lake is if you were in New York City, it's very hard to find a bathroom. Here, it's visitor feedback. Let's always give them very good. So circle very good.
There's no pen.
There's no pen. How do we? Oh, this is Dennis. Especially when it comes to church history sites.
So we're going to come over here. This is my favorite.
Okay. Tiffany's favorite.
You're going to find I have lots of favorites.
Oh, I've been here before. To Moroni. She has lots of favorites. There's nothing wrong with that.
So make sure you get this so
Okay.
people know where we're going.
So 1830 to present. Church. All right. Tiffany, do you want to take this over and I'll try to reconnect my glasses?
Sure. Okay, so we are at Joseph Smith Jr. This is like all of the
And you want to hold
prophets.
this microphone probably front there.
So we are currently doing the tour of like all of the prophets.
And why is this one of your favorites?
I just love because like when I joined the church, it was a month after President Nelson became the prophet.
Yeah.
So I got to know so much more about so many of them from like coming here. And it was like looking at all their stuff, it's like just like a little step into their home.
Let's see if we have. Every time I try to wave to somebody, see how it blocks them? I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Okay, and then there's one in a language I don't understand. Qua mesa s question mark? Oh, I wish, can somebody translate that for me? I don't know what that
Hold
testimony last of all, which we give of him, that he lives. For we saw him, even on the right hand of God. And we heard the voice bearing record that he is the only begotten of the Father, that by him and through him and of him the worlds are and were created, and the inhabitants thereof are begotten sons and daughters unto God.
So that was his testimony.
One of many. And what's this?
This right here is like stuff from the Nauvoo home. It's his scale in the Red Brook store, a valet box, candlesticks, the lock and key from the mansion home.
Wow.
Picture of Emma Hale and their son David. And now we here got Brigham Young.
He's such a... I love looking at his photo because it speaks of... It speaks of persecution and understanding for others.
When you were in St. George, did you go to his house?
I went to his house after I was baptized in October of 2017, but I haven't been back. But I did jump out and take a selfie with it. But I've always resonated with him. I don't know why. I have to do some more research. I'm still green and learning.
Maybe I'll help you get on your family search. We'll see how far down you are related to him.
Jesus, the Savior of the world, the Christ we believe in. I testify that Jesus is the Christ, the Savior and Redeemer of the world. I have obeyed his sayings and realized his promises. And the knowledge I have of him, the wisdom of this world cannot give, neither can it take away. My faith is placed upon the Lord Jesus Christ, and my knowledge I have received from him, our Lord Jesus Christ, the Savior, who has redeemed the world and all things pertaining to it, is the only begotten of the Father pertaining to the flesh. He is our elder brother, and as such, we worship him.
I love these sunglasses that Brigham Young wore. I want a pair just like that.
The inkwell.
That is so cool.
Right here's from his desk. This desk belonged to and was used by President Brigham Young. Oh, there's another little pair of glasses.
I love those.
I'm going to show you my hand so you can see
Yeah.
literally how
They're
tiny
so
they are.
Yes, they are. Wow. And is this a ring? Yeah, it's a ring.
Yep, it says, sign it. The carnelian stone in this ring is engraved with a beehive and the wood deseret, referring to the necessity of unity, cooperation, and industry among the saints. This ring was a gift from Brigham Young's friend Colonel Thomas L. Kane and was used to create seals and wax on documents and letters. Interesting.
So,
I'm going to do a little plug here. So my ring right there, this one right here, it's from a place called Nauvoo Remembered, and you can get any temple stone.
wow.
So this is the Palmyra temple stone.
I love it. So I'm going to switch to my glasses.
Okay.
And then you can do... Okay, so, yep, I'm on you. But the sound quality, let us know if the sound quality is not as good with these glasses, because I can switch back. It's not a big deal.
So
And
does it matter if I'm playing with this floofy thing or not?
no, you can play with it, because then people won't hear you go, like, yeah, I've learned the hard way.
So here's the man of letters, and now we're on to John Taylor.
John Taylor, this is so awesome. And we had to get here first because they close at 6. Did anybody comment about hearing better or worse through these?
Not yet.
Okay.
Right over here we have Wilford Woodruff. Fun fact.
Fun fact.
His great-granddaughter.
He was born in Farmington, Connecticut, which is where we have our temple.
Someone who's related to him, one of his granddaughters, great-granddaughter, somewhere along the lines. She served her mission in upstate New York.
Yes.
And I got to meet her.
And there is a bridge in Avon, Connecticut dedicated to him.
Avon.
And
in New York there's one called Avon.
Avon, Connecticut, yep. And then I have gone there, and there is all this wonderful history. There's a website called the
Everyone
Woodruff.
says it sounds fine, and sound is actually very good.
Okay, good. That's good to hear. Thank you. There's so much that I can learn about him.
Look at the little pen from the manifesto. It's so little and sparkly and shiny.
Oh, that is so cool. So thank you, Maida, for these self-charging glasses.
Snow. I got a priesthood blessing once a time I needed to study about his life. So I have a book about Lorenzo Snow. I have not yet read the book. But I remember
okay.
specifically getting that priesthood blessing to study his life. And so I bought the book. And either I'm a procrastinator at its finest or I'm not supposed to learn things yet.
Yet. I love your honesty.
Going to have to remind me to go. But I remember that I got that blessing.
Yeah.
Which is why I have the book. I just haven't read it yet.
So we're in the section of all the prophets. Joseph F. Smith. Now that always confused me that there were two Smiths. Are there any relations? Because he was in from 1939 to...
Yeah, his father was Hiram.
Oh, his father was Hiram. Okay.
So Joseph was his uncle.
Okay, Joseph was his uncle.
In those old days, they used to they used to name all their children after their siblings, family members.
Oh, President Grant. He's the one where I just saw the movie about the missionaries leaving Germany.
I have yet to watch that. It is on my
We
list.
need to go see it. $5 Tuesdays. We'll go Tuesday if you can get the day off from work.
I can't this Tuesday, but maybe following Tuesday.
It is amazing because he had revelation that he needed to close the Germany mission 3 days before the invasion. And when they went to the U.S. consul and they said this, the guy said, "No, our government is stronger than anything. We don't have any information." And the elder says, "I believe our prophet." President Grant.
Someone says the sound is better on the glasses than when I'm playing the floofy thing.
And then you're playing with the floofy thing. So they said, and this must be the Joseph Smith building that is now renamed.
So my grandpa, my dad's dad, he came over here from Germany when he was a baby.
Yeah.
My great-grandpa, he went from Anton Johann Berger to Anthony John Berg. So I'm like a second-generation Berg.
Okay.
Technically, I'm a Berger.
I love it.
And in middle school, they called me Tiffany Cheeseburger. So.
Oh, because kids were mean. They're still mean. But you're not Cheeseburger. You're just my friend Tiffany. Tiff.
George Albert Smith.
Another Smith. And what year was he? I don't have my reading glasses on, so it's hard to... 1950, I think.
And his father was John Henry Smith and grandfather George A. Smith.
Oh, I'm like with a historian who's a convert, who's newer than I am to the church.
I'm also reading some of this.
She's studying this. I love it. Look at these symbols.
David O. McKay.
Where thou art. Oh, he was a genius, I heard. Like, he just was very ahead of his time. But I have it. So my testimony is when I got baptized, we had President Monson, and I wasn't, I never heard him speak, but I knew he was called of God when I had my baptismal interview, Tiffany. But then when he passed away and we got President Monson, when we got President Russell M. Nelson, I knew that he was called of God the second I heard him speak when he was sustained. I mean, it was just like, and he's always been my favorite, but he's been the only one I've really known, if that makes sense.
President Nelson, like, he literally became the prophet a month before I even started lessons. I also like learning the whole prophets thing. And
You mean President Russell M. Nelson?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And I always believed, like, I really had the testimony, like, I believed the prophet was true and called of God. But it wasn't until COVID happened where I was like, oh, wow. Because everything that happened that first general conference I experienced, that everyone was like so shook as that was like changed. I was like, oh, is this not normal?
This is not normal?
And then when COVID hit, and then I realized all that stuff had changed, and then it made sense to me why everyone was like, whoa, 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 that's changing.
Yeah.
And when COVID hit, I understood why it all changed. And we didn't even know what COVID was. I'm just like, that's when my testimony grew. Even more about the prophet.
And so this is...
Joseph Fielding Smith.
So he was a prophet from 1970 to 1972. The year I was born was 72.
That was the year my mom graduated high school.
Oh, and your mom just left here. She was visiting. And she's not a member, but she loves you.
She does.
Yeah.
It was a rough patch for a while.
It always is. So look at this, 1876. That was the year my brother was born, was 1976, and I was born
100 years later.
Yeah. I was born 1972.
Look at him, age 3.
Wow.
Age 34, 47, 71, and 95.
I can go up to 47. I'm not quite 57 yet, so.
I can go up to 34.
Okay. I can go. So, hey again. Look at this.
The glasses, they're so thick.
I learned how to type on a typewriter like this. I had a teacher that was like, hands up, ASDF space, JKL semicolon space. That's how I learned typing.
I'm on Harold B. Lee.
He wasn't in that long.
I asked only to go where the Lord would have me go. That's basically how I ended up in Utah from New York. Because I had no intention on leaving New York ever.
Yeah. And then
Spencer W. Kimball.
Spencer W. Kimball. He did a lot of change in the church.
I just recently read this book.
So let's give it a shout out.
Spencer Kimball, The Miracle of Forgiveness.
Love it.
I just recently read that book. And I'm still not ready to forgive, but I read the book.
She says, I'm still not ready to forgive, but I read the book. She's working on it. It's a work in progress. Always. And this is an exact replica, but it's a few feet shorter than the one that's on the Salt Lake City temple. I was here. I know.
I'm 5'6".
Tiffany's 5'6", and she's like, hello, Angel Moroni. I love it. Love it. So I got video when I was here in October, briefly, but it was a quick flyby. Oh, and he's back on the temple, Angel Moroni.
So we'll have to walk over there later. It kind of looks like he's in prison because they have him like boxed in. So
Oh, no.
when I go,
Okay.
I joke that Moroni's in prison on the temple.
No, he's still protecting. He's still protecting us. So we're rounding.
Thomas S. Monson.
Oh, he was. Oh,
We can
so
still go.
let's go backwards because we're doing this our way. So his granddaughter is in my stake, and I mispronounce his name a lot because we have something called Munson's chocolates, which is very famous. And so Munson, I get confused. I'm sorry. Look at those tape recorders and those phones. That's how I learned how to call. And pocket watches. I love this.
I like the fan.
That is nice. Look at this.
Look at him throughout the years.
Wow.
See, I can't quite reach 36. I'm still 35.
Yeah, I've gone past that. I'm in my 50s.
President Gordon B. Hinckley.
Gordon B. Hinckley did a lot for the church, too. What would you say he's known for?
All the temples.
All the temples. And he was on Newsweek.
Hope Jim is happy he's on.
Jim is our scriptorian. We should be doing this convert thing with him because he knows he's a convert too. But he really gets the history and scripture references. So I'm going to switch back from these to that. So be prepared. Because I got to charge them. So now you're going to be on the fuzzy microphone.
Yep, which means I get to play with the floofy.
And I'm going to charge my smart glasses. So he's known for temples. And he was also on Larry King Live too, right?
That I don't know.
Yeah, I think he was.
I'll pierce him throughout the years.
And now we're at Howard W. Hunter.
I was still showing him King.
I'm sorry.
Here we go. Now we're on Howard W. Hunter.
And he wasn't in. Oh wow, this is so cool. And the last one, which we did go a little backwards. Sorry. It was
Ezra Taft Benson.
Benson. He was the one that was ahead of his time. Very knowledgeable, very scientific in his way of thinking. But what's all this book? What's this history right here, Tiffany?
It says the Book of Mormon. By the time of President Benson's death in 1994, the Book of Mormon selections from the Book of Mormon had been translated into 87 languages. So in 1991, over 6 million copies of the Book of Mormon were printed, the highest number in any year to that date. And you can see them in all the different languages. I have a German one.
I love it.
That's how I'm trying to learn German.
It's reading the Book of Mormon. I can barely do English, so I'm still...
I love that this says to the single adult sister of the church, but there's none to the single adult men. Oh, there they go. Sorry, I missed it as the brethren. I'm going to have to get my hand on one of those little... Oh, here he is throughout the years. Oh, he's a bald baby.
Follically deprived. We never go bald. And that's, oh, this has been super cool.
Oh, we're not even done yet.
No, we're not.
And
this is probably one of the longest.
this is President
lives.
Nelson. There's not a whole lot.
Oh, but what else needs to be said other than I can testify that he's definitely a prophet called God, because he has strengthened my testimony into the gospel, and he has taught me humility, and he's taught me to be fun, because he is a fun guy. I love this painting, and I don't even know the significance of it.
Let's go over here and read it. It says, in their image. At the top in their image reigns a man and woman, arms extending here. Do you want to show the picture while I read it?
I can do that, as we just made everybody busy.
At the top of in their image reigns a man and a woman, arms extending out to embrace their countless progeny. I may have pronounced that wrong. Shaped simply from triangles, circles, and rectangles. The title references the divine creation of humanity recorded in Genesis 1. The image itself might refer to this divine creation of the entire human family, or perhaps to the posterity of our original earthly parents, Adam and Eve, or maybe the descendants of any couple who, like Abraham's seed, might be multiplied as the stars of heaven. The couple looks down at the pyramid of humanity with caring and concern. Each cascading individual leans against another. Every person supporting is part of an interconnected family. The pattern on the figure's shirts and dresses could symbolize their own potential offspring, having within them the ability to create in the image of God. So it's like a family tree of people.
Love it. Family tree of people. So I'm definitely going to be watching this when I'm uploading it to YouTube. Because it's like, yeah. There you go, Tiff. So we haven't even entered the whole Kirtland stuff yet.
Well, that was the one room that we were in. So it's basically just a bunch of paintings, so we'll go around.
Just a bunch of
I mean...
Let's get to some history.
Huh?
Let's get to some history. I know there's history in this,
Oh, yeah.
but I'm just thinking...
The loading of the ship. The Promised Land. The destruction of the Western continent. Christ in America. Ooh, can you get me one of those too?
Yes, absolutely.
Ooh, there's a different one too.
Oh, yeah. And you're...
This takes me back to like when you went to go like when you borrowed the Book of Mormon from the Marriott Hotel.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a different one.
Look to the children. Oh, the sacrament. So I actually have one of the original sacrament cups, like the. It's very old. Moroni, the last Nephite, and then. So what are you guys enjoying so far about our tour? Dennis just dropped a water bottle.
But I'm going to decide, yeah, thank you to my friends that gave this water bottle to me, which I tried to open. It might be pathways.
Okay, now we're going into how you can prepare to go to the temple. This is like another one of my favorite exhibits.
Are we going backwards again?
No, we're going the right way.
Taylorsville to see the 12 ox.
This one's from the Frankfurt, Germany temple. Okay, so we gotta come over here. Dennis, want to stand behind that pulpit?
Oh my goodness. No, because I'm only Dennis. I'm not anybody.
This looks like your general conference.
No, I'm not. I am just like, whenever I do devotionals and stake center talks, I insist on doing it down there because I say I'm not worthy. You know, I'm just Dennis.
See, I usually talk in YSAs, and I'm just like, you can't keep the microphone away from me because I'm gonna like hit it and it's gonna go loud.
But I just can testify that we need to develop a testimony in our Savior Jesus Christ, not man, because man's not perfect. I'm not perfect. But I love this gospel, and I joined this church to please God, not to please you. Thank you. Okay, so, yeah, I'm going to be
Tour is great. It's nice to see the new some parts. Some things are still the same. Yes, there are still a lot of things that are still the same, and I come here a lot. Come on.
I couldn't even look them in the eyes. I was looking all over because I just had it.
So I can't remember if this is one that shows all the dots. Oh yeah. So we're just gonna go here to the end.
What's that? Oh, yeah, for the kids.
Okay. So when you're watching this, just watch as the years go by with all of the dots. Dennis, I'm gonna have you record me. I can't get this.
Okay, I got you.
Up your bag, Dennis.
Oh, I'll come back. Thank you. I leave it everywhere.
In 1877, you can see where the temples were. And then as we like move, okay, we're starting to get a little more. I'm also moving really fast. But now we're going to go to where 2025 is, which we haven't even hit yet. But just look at all those dots.
That's amazing.
I will never catch up. I've done 54 temples in 5 years, I will just never catch up.
Can you go to India? Or because I want to bear my testimony. I see it right over there.
Where?
India and Dubai. Okay. I'm going to sit down for a second. And so right here, there are places that we are building temples.
Right there.
Okay. There are places that a lot of people say, like, why doesn't your church advocate for more LGBTQ?
The Arab.
I got to turn this around. Let me just figure out how to do this. And stuff. This is why. Because we are developing relations in countries where it's illegal to be gay. And so right here, we would never, if we came out and said we support this or that or, you know, all this stuff, which the church does want us to support our fellow LGBTQ brothers and sisters, but there are countries that it's illegal to be gay. And so we would lose all this diplomatic relations.
You know, 2022, there's nothing.
Wow, 2022, nothing.
2024, nothing.
Nothing.
But they were, click on it.
In India. And it shows you the picture announced in April 1st, 2018. Yeah, I mean, this is just wonderful.
I just love how, like, just, especially, like,
we're blowing up, which is a good thing.
Given the US.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's a big chunk in Salt Minestrone Lake.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, here in New York, there's
my
my temple.
Palmyra, New York. I love it.
Been to this house. No.
Philadelphia.
That was the second temple I ever went to.
Oh, wow. So mine's Hartford, Connecticut, which is right there. That's where I have my endowment. With first presidential approval, no less. So read to us where it was announced. I'm going to turn this around.
It was announced October 2nd, 2010, groundbreaking August 17th, 2013. rededicated November 20th, 2016.
When I was still an anti-member, and I was baptized in August 2017. So, all right.
Don't reach back.
Okay, I gotta go back and get that. I'm gonna give that to you.
I love the truths of the gospel so much, and the Lord has blessed me so wonderfully at times that I feel quite unworthy of it all. I think we all can feel that way. It's an old picture of the Tiker family. I will probably pronounce it wrong, from 1943. A brass bucket.
This is beautiful. So I just saw a couple that is from India, and they are not of our faith, and they just had me take the picture of them at the pulpit.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
And they're sending it to their friends.
Okay. And so we're pretty much done with the upstairs tour. Hopefully we can get back downstairs for the face masks, the death masks are. And I'm not sure if there's that much more in this
section.
Like, this museum. Like, we'll have more, we'll go live later, but we'll probably do that live on YouTube.
Yes.
I will remind.
Have to edit. Instead of pointing down, point like this way. Wait, we can see what we see. I think we finished it. We're just going to go to the gift shop.
No, we're going to go back to the death mask.
Oh, the death mask. Okay. Why don't you do that?
Okay.
Here.
Okay. So Dennis gave me his phone. He's on his own. So now you just get me. Oh. Thank you for buying a badge, Sandy. Okay, here we go. This is a painting from that day. So right here is Hiram Smith's vest and pants and his glasses. So these were what he was wearing when he died. Here's Hiram Smith's dust mask. This is kind of like what he looked like. And here's Joseph Smith's. First time I saw them, I was like, that's kind of weird, but I get it now. Here's some other paintings. And this painting is absolutely beautiful. Just the watercolors is amazing. Okay, we're gonna walk back to the gift shop. We're gonna find Dennis and then have him turn this off because I don't know if there's any special way he needs to do when he exits out of it. So we're gonna go find Dennis and have him turn it off. I don't know how to turn it off for you.
You don't know how to stop it?
Well, I do, but I don't know if you need to do something to
no,
save
no,
it.
it's okay. It's all good. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We had a lot of fun. I'm glad you were a part of this.